So the second part of the four-stage process is the design. So now you've retained my offices to represent you. We'll have taken the notes from the review period so that we have a detailed facts of your case. And then what we'll do is, prior to court starting, is I can actually contact the district attorney's office and say to them, look, I believe you've overcharged this case or you've mischarged it, and ask them to, one, either throw it out or to reduce it down to a misdemeanor. So that's an opportunity that we're going to have prior to your first court date, which is scheduled, which is called an arraignment. We'll also talk to you about things that you can do to help benefit your case, because there's a lot of things that you, the client, can do to help your case progress along better. The number one thing is dealing with whatever issue it is. If it's a drug-related offense, an alcohol-related offense, a theft-related offense of violence, whatever it might be, there's going to be something that you can do to make your case better. The next step in the design process is the arraignment. The arraignment is more of a formality where we go into court and tell the judge that we're pleading not guilty in your case. When we arrive at the court, we'll be handed a document. It's called the complaint. The complaint has the list of the actual charges that you will be facing. It will have your name and date of birth on the document. What we will do is we'll go over this document, make sure your name's spelled correctly and your date of birth is correct. When your case is called, I will stand up, I will do all the talking, and I will tell the judge that I'm your lawyer, that we're pleading not guilty, that we received a copy of the complaint and your true name appears on it, and that I've advised you of your constitutional rights. When that hearing is done, the judge will then set future dates for you to come back to court for a readiness conference and a preliminary hearing. The next step in the design process, and may not apply in all cases, is setting bail. This would be done in the arraignment if you have not previously bailed out of court. Bail is a function through the court to ensure that you show up for your next court appearance. There's two factors that are involved in bail. One, are you a danger to the community? And two, are you a threat to run away? So in looking at the factors for being a danger to the society, they're going to look what the type of offense was. Was it a passive offense such as a shoplifting, or was it a violent offense, beating somebody up, an assault, a domestic violence? Then on the other side are, what are your ties to the community? Well, one of them is, how long have you lived in San Diego? Do you have family that lives in San Diego? Did you go to school in San Diego? Do you work in San Diego? All of these ties to the community are helpful. And in fact, it would be great if these people could come into court for the arraignment, such that we bring family members in, we bring friends in, we bring people from the clergy or your religion in, or if you work, you have your employer come in. All of these things will show your ties to the community, which will show the judge that you're not a threat to run away, and therefore hopefully we can get your bail lowered or get it changed to what's called an OR release. An OR release is being released on your own recognizance, which means you're basically promising the judge that you'll show up at your next court appearance. The judge, if he grants the OR release, will sometimes say, I'm going to put a couple conditions on the release. The conditions that he usually will put on a release, if it involves alcohol or drugs, or maybe that he'll order that you go to NA or AA meetings, and he may say you need to do 2 a week up until your next court date, and you need to show proof at the next court date. And he may give you what's called a fourth waiver. This usually happens in theft cases or drug cases, and a fourth waiver is where you give up your Fourth Amendment right against unreasonable search and seizures, meaning that the police can stop you at any time to search you simply because you're out on an OR release with a fourth waiver.